So people are saying that a lot of people are losing their jobs over coronavirus, and people are, but people don't understand that there are jobs that are soaring right now. Healthcare is soaring right now. Grocery store workers are soaring. Delivery drivers, IT is soaring right now. In order to keep the internet roaring how it is right now, there needs to be people 24/7 working on servers, making sure that the internet is working okay. Yes, there's people that do that. Making sure that the servers for Facebook and whatever don't crash. Doing all that production support. There's just programmers that are soaring right now. All these delivery drivers and people that work on online retail, those are soaring right now. And the thing is like this is really innovating the way people think about work, people that think about school. I think that people will go back to school, like a regular school. And people will go back to work, but I think there's going to be a more of a push towards teleworking from now on. I don't think everyone's going to be, unless you work in a secured classified area or you have a lab. I don't think everyone's going to be expected to go back to work forever. I think that there are a lot of people. This is going to be a big push for a lot of people, maybe like 20 to 30% after this is over, of the workforce to telework, of the office jobs to telework. And this is going to be big for the climate. It's going to be big for um, just everything. I think there's going to be a big push for healthcare workers and people in the grocery store and stuff like that. The people who are deemed essential to make more money. I think honestly, people in the grocery store industry and delivery drivers and stuff like that are going to go from being people who don't make any money whatsoever, like minimum wage or whatever, to making a decent wage. I'm talking like 20, $30 an hour maybe, because we're seeing how important they are. I mean, and the grocery stores and whatever can afford it because everyone needs groceries. So I can see that happening in the future or happening right now, honestly. So it's a scary time, but I think that the free market will come up with ways to figure this out. I think the $2 trillion that the government spent is all right, but I mean, there's some things in that bill that are just not. I don't really agree with. I think instead of spending money on dumb things like museums and stuff like that, they should have just used the money to just give both to the American people and to companies that are struggling. Maybe give money instead of to the instead of giving money to the airline industry, which has billions of dollars, and they can sit this out. They can give money to you know healthcare workers and grocery store workers and stuff like that. More masks and stuff. I just think when the government gets involved in a lot of things, sometimes it screws things up, and sometimes it doesn't really do that much. I mean, $1,200 for somebody, that's not really that much. I mean, your rent is still due. Your rent is probably more than that with all the electricity and bills and stuff. I mean, the average price of rent in this country is like about $1,000 a month. So if you add that with all the stuff you got to get, that $1,200 ain't gonna help you that much, honestly. And especially in New York City, you're basically still screwed. You're gonna look at it and be like, this is like chump change. It's like a $1,200 in New York City is like nothing. So I mean, I just think that that there's lots more innovation now, and I think that people got to think outside of the box. If you lost your job, I think you should try to look for something online. Maybe there's a job online where you can help out Amazon or something, mitigate the packages. Maybe you can work for Amazon to deliver packages, or work for UPS or something, or work for a grocery store or something. I know it sucks, but hey, it's better than having nothing. It's better than waiting for an unemployment check. So I'm just letting you know. So I think that the free market is here. And if you're against innovation, then look at what 120 years ago when people warned about cars replacing horses, and they were saying, well, all these jobs are going to go away forever, and um, they're never going to come back. They're never going to come. No one's ever going to. These people that are working for all the vets and all these stables and the carriages, they're never going to come back. Those people will never have those jobs again. And the thing is, the people that lost those jobs just learned something else. They became mechanics, or they became car salesmen, or whatever. This is what people do. They adapt. All the people that worked at Blockbuster, they're now working at other jobs. Once Netflix took over, you know, and cable is having a hard time. Cable companies are having a hard time competing with Netflix and Hulu and all this other stuff, because all these other things are free. Pluto TV and whatever, and you can watch all these things practically for free. So cable is having a hard time among millennials and zennials. Millennials and zennials are not buying cable packages as much as they used as the older generations, and so now they're losing their jobs. So I mean, everything changes. Everything is always going to change, and that doesn't mean people are going to lose their jobs forever. You keep hearing about people are going to lose their jobs to automation. That is complete BS. In fact, I think with automation, there'll be more jobs, and I know this because I worked with a company that did Selenium a couple of years ago, where we made scripts where we test these websites, go through these websites, and it was just gonna, because instead of having a tester going through and doing, step 1, 2, 3, whatever, you had the Selenium that did it, amazingly fast. But there was all these people that had to program Selenium. There's all these people that had to test that Selenium, make sure it worked. You added 50 more jobs just because 50 to 60 more jobs just to support this one product. Instead of having one to two jobs for testers, now you have 50 jobs. So that's what automation is going to do. There's going to be more people making sure that automation works, or programming it, or whatever, than the robot. You're going to need someone to program that robot. So that's my wrap. Thanks.